So we have everything spawned here. What we need to do is we need to add in a couple of things here. First of all, we need to move the floor block and move the ceiling block. And we need to add in the timers here. So let's add in the timers first. We're going to say function. We'll call this timer spawn floor. And we're going to need two different functions because we want to spawn these at different times here. So the timer here is going to say let random time is going to be equal to int arc for random underscore uniform. It has to be an underscore, by the way, uniform. And we're going to say, let's make it between 5 and 3 seconds or 3 and 5 seconds. So let random time. Then we're going to say let wait is equal to skaction.wait for duration, and we'll wait random time. So every time this works, it will spawn a random time. And we'll say let spawn block is equal to skaction.runBlock. And in that run block, we're going to say that this is going to spawn the floor block here. So we also have to say if is alive is double equal to true, because we only want to be able to spawn it when the timer is alive here. So if is alive is equal to true, we're going to say that this is self.spawn floor block. Okay, perfect. Now what we also need to do is we also need to change this to a double because wait for durations is requiring a double. Okay, so we have all of this working out. What we need to do next is add an let, and we'll say sequence is equal to skaction.sequence, and we're going to say wait, then spawn block. We're going to say self.runAction, and we're going to skaction.repeatAction forever, and we're going to repeat the sequence forever. By adding in this game state variable, it makes it work a little bit better because you can use that repeat action. We're going to say function timer spawn ceiling. Okay, and we're going to say, and I'm actually just going to copy this random time here because it's the exact same here. And we'll say let wait is equal to skaction.wait for durations, and we'll wait for double because we need to convert our int to our double here, and the double is going to be random time. Make sure you close off your brackets, and we're going to say let spawn block is equal to skaction.spawn block, and or we're going to say dot run block, and then we're going to say if is alive is double equal to true because we do not want to spawn it when it's not equal to true. We're going to say self dot spawn ceiling block. Okay, and we'll say let sequence is equal to skaction dot sequence, and that sequence here is going to be wait then spawn block. Okay, and then move down here self dot run action skaction dot repeat action forever, and that action is going to be the sequence. Okay, once we spawn it, we have to move it. So we'll say add in a function. We'll call this move floor block, and we'll move that floor block here, and that floor block is going to be in here. We're going to say let move block is equal to skaction dot move to x. So we're going to move it across the screen because x is across. We're going to say negative 200, which is off the screen, and we're going to say this is block speed. Then we're going to say let destroy is equal to skaction.remove from parent. Always destroy your game objects when you are no longer using them. And we're going to say in here, we're going to say let sequence is equal to skaction.sequence, and we're going to say here, we'll say move block dot we'll say move block and then destroy. So once it reaches its destination, it'll destroy itself, freeing up memory, which is important. And then we're going to say floor block dot run action, and we're going to say that this is skaction dot repeat action, and we're going to repeat the sequence. All right. And we don't actually have to repeat action forever. So let's just repeat the action sequence for a total of one time because we're only going to do it once. Okay, let's add in another function here. And I'm actually just going to add in some more space at the bottom so I can move this up a bit. All right, so we're going to say function. It's going to be move ceiling block. And we're going to do exactly that. We're going to say let move block is equal to skaction.move to x. We'll move it to -200 at block speed. And we're going to say let destroy is equal to skaction.destroy or .remove from parent. And we're going to say let sequence is equal to skaction.sequence, and we're going to add in the move block and destroy. And then lastly, we're going to go to ceiling block.run action. Remember, you have to, if you're going to apply an action to an object, you have to do ceiling block, not self. And we're going to go to skaction.repeat action. We're going to repeat the sequence a total of one time. And there you go. And that's actually starting to look pretty good here. Now, one thing that I should mention before we move on here is that the player affected by gravity, we do need that affected by gravity, okay? And we're going to figure out the spawning logic in another tutorial for now, okay? So this concludes the tutorial.